Hey everyone, how you doing today? And welcome to the Dropped in 3 podcast. And today's a special day because obviously, well, maybe not obviously if you don't know, but well, you should kind of know. Anyway, 2024 is tomorrow, and I'm releasing a podcast finally talking about the fall anime of 2023. Now, I am going to talk about the podcast and my feelings, and especially about the year and all that towards the end of the podcast. So if you're interested in stuff like that, please stay tuned. I was gonna say other, no, I don't know what the hell that means, but basically, moving on, I'm going to talk about actually a lot of anime because there's a thing, right, with this season, right? I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna be prepped and do this anime thing early, but yeah, so much anime came out. So much damn anime came out in fall, and it's been a very interesting year in terms of 2023 and anime. And yet again, I will talk about that in another like episode or even some of the stuff in the end. But I have been at least happy with the way the year ended. I mean, the end of the year has been pretty damn spectacular in terms of anime. So without further ado, I'm going to go straight into it because I don't really have too much time, and also there's a lot of anime to talk about. I'm not gonna give too much explanations because before, like when I did these reviews, I would talk about like each anime for like a good like 5-6 minutes. But I realized as we go on with these episodes and as I do more like quarterly roundups and reviews, and as I go like maybe get more people and all that, I feel like time is gonna be not wasted, but how do I explain this? We're going to be using too much time focusing on things when we need to just get on with the podcast. So I'm just pre-warning you now, and today will probably be a good example of that. So if you do miss anything, or if there's anything like, oh, Daibie didn't talk too much about this anime, or you should have given more praise or credit or whatever, I'm sorry. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm sorry. Just blame the industry. So without further ado, I'm gonna just talk about the anime I didn't watch. And first off, let's talk about Tokyo Revengers, because ain't no goddamn way I was gonna watch that shit. I'm sorry, guys. No offense to Tokyo Revengers stands, but after that like first season, I watched like half of the first season. That was more than enough Tokyo Revengers for me. And then plus I've seen what happens at the end of Tokyo Revengers, and that does not give me any more incentive to watch this. So you guys keep enjoying your mid. I'll just go watch other things. Okay, let me not be harsh. Okay, Tokyo Revengers, I don't know if it's that bad. I mean, it's quite middling to me, but there was no way I was going to watch it this season. Ain't no way. So move on from that one. Bye. And then this one, I'll admit, this anime I missed out on, and I do feel really bad on it. And that is Doctor Stone New World Part 2 and Part 1 even, because I've read these in the manga. I know how like incredible this arc is. This arc in Doctor Stone they adapt is when I would say stuff or the plot starts moving without spoiling Doctor Stone. Because you start to get some of the mysteries that you've been wondering since the beginning of the season get answered this season. So I'm not surprised that people think it's really good. It's just that I haven't watched it yet. Well, I've watched a little bit of it. I haven't watched all of it yet. So I do feel a little bad that I didn't finish that. I wasn't part of the party for that. But I'll come back for the final season, because the final season, honestly, I think that's that's the best stuff. Like, I'm gonna be real. Like, this one is the hit. That one is like, woof. So I'll be ready for that one. But for this one, I decided to give it a little bit of a pass. So I'll probably watch that, I don't know, sometime in 2024. So let's talk about anime that I did watch. And before well, I've got it all. Okay, basically, guys, what I have on my laptop now is the list of the anime that I watched, all from my anime list. And there's one anime that I watched that's not on my anime list, so this is a perfect time to talk about it. Scott Pilgrim Takes Off, bro. This is an anime. Like I can't believe, right, that my anime list doesn't consider this an anime, because it's made by Science Saru. Science Saru did Devilman Crybaby. It's doing Dan Da Dan next year. It doesn't get more anime than that. So that blew my mind. But anyway, Scott Pilgrim Takes Off was actually really, really fun. I thought it was a fantastic anime. It was different from what I was expecting. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but if you've watched it, you'll know exactly what I mean. But overall, as the production, I really loved the story they told. I was very interesting to see the differences between this anime and the original movie. I've not read the comic, so maybe I needed to read the comic to add a little bit of extra context to it. But just seeing the voice actors who were the actors from the original movie in an anime and do lines, like anime voice actors blew my mind, and it all worked. It all worked. It was so fantastic. I really wish we could get season two, but I won't be surprised if they're not gonna do it because they're probably thinking, let's just do this one contained, self-contained season and have some fun with Scott Pilgrim and the side characters and make sure that everyone just has their fan service and we call it a day. Like, let's not do a season two and ruin it and all that. I get it completely, but I would have loved to see more of where the characters go because compared to the movie, I love the fact that a lot of the side characters got even more shine because in the movie they're very obviously they're what's the word? They're out there, you love them, they're very prevalent in the movie, but the fact that we got this extra screen time with them, especially with the beautiful animation from Science Tower and the music, which was absolutely insane, it made me appreciate them a lot more. So yeah, I really love that, and I know we're not gonna get season two, but that was a lot of fun. Another Netflix anime that I need to finish that I did start was Pluto. And if you don't know what Pluto is, it's part of the Astro Boy franchise. You should know what Astro Boy is if you're an anime fan. But essentially it's the darker version of Astro Boy whereby you're seeing all the instead of all the fun and oh look it's Astro Boy coming to save the day, the world is basically upset and basically having this or I'm having this not really a war, well I guess kind of a war between robots and humans. So yeah, I watched the first episode and my god in heaven, that was incredible. So I still need to finish it because everybody says it's a masterpiece and one that everybody missed, which I agree. I do agree. From watching the first episode alone, I was like, yeah, this was top tier. It's just, it is a bit heavy. So it's one of those ones where I feel like you need to be in the mood for something depressing to just sit down and binge and watch. But I have to call it out because even if I haven't finished it, it was so strong. So I'm not surprised if it's going to be a master. It won't surprise me if I finish Pluto and I'm like, damn, I should have put this like as like number one best anime of the year or something crazy like that. So overall, fantastic show so far. So now, how long have I gone? I have gone 7 minutes. Jesus Christ. Okay, I'm gonna have to like really speed run this because there's a lot more anime and I've got a lot of talking to do. So we got the return of Spy Family with Spy Family season 2, and it's essentially the same kind of like, you know, shenanigans as the Forger family is getting into again, except for they had one arc where they just had Yor as the focus, and she had to do this kind of assassin type of mission. Well, I wouldn't say assassin, more like a bodyguard type of mission. And that was the best highlight of, well, the highlight of the season. It was so much fun. It was impressive, and it's really nice to see more of Yor and seeing her basically turn into John Wick in this season. Other than that, the episodes where it did not focus on that arc was still fun. It's still Spy Family. You get your two little not episodes, two little adventures, I would say, that you get in one episode or three sometimes, and you just have a laugh and you just chill. That was Spy Family season 2. I can't really say anything more than that other than keep it up with. Hopefully season 3 will bang as well, because I really love this show and I really love I still love the premise. I still think it's really strong. I'm hoping, granted, also me as well in the manga, I'm hoping we're getting closer to more of the resolutions of, or maybe not the resolutions of, basically closer to one of them starting to figure out who the other person is what I'm trying to say. So I'll probably need, haven't read the manga in a bit, so maybe they have, I don't know, but I hope that season 3 or season 4 gets a bit closer to that. So that's all I'll say. Now, I watched Rising of the Shield Hero season 3, and I'm shocked that I watched this, because if you had asked me like before the season about Rising of the Shield Hero season 3, I would have laughed and said I don't care. Honestly, I would have been like, bro, it's probably still mid. But I said, you know what? Let me try and watch some Shield Hero. Like, I hadn't watched Shield Hero in like years. I watched season 1. I thought it was very overrated, except for like Kevin Penkin's music, and that was about it. Everything else very overrated. So I went in, watched season 2. Season 2 is not as bad as I thought. I thought season 2 would be terrible because of what everyone says. It is mid. Don't get it twisted. It is mid. But I thought it would be terrible. It wasn't terrible. But then season 3 comes in, and I don't know why. I really like season 3. I'm shocked because, bear in mind, it's not like it's like improved and it's not like the show is dramatically better. It's still kind of mid, right? It's still, yeah, it's still But I enjoyed season 3 a lot. And I was like, why am I enjoying season 3 a lot? And I realized why. Number one, right? The new characters they introduced, are actually pretty interesting. And they actually kind of help bring personality to Naofumi and his group because, to be honest with you, they're very one-dimensional. So at least there's a little bit of character to them. And then number two, I think I kind of know what Shield Hero is. Like, now that I've watched 3 seasons of this thing, I know what it is. It's because when I first started Shield Hero with season 1, and the way they hyped this thing to high heaven, they made it sound like this is gonna be Isekai God, like, you know, like, oh, here's an hour episode, it's so dark, it's so gritty, having everything that happened with whatever her name is, Melty, whatever, redhead woman, yeah, all that happening, and we're like, oh wow, like, he got betrayed, this is serious Isekai, yeah, and then you get to the end of the season, you're like, whoa, that was basically like everything else. That is basically still Shield Hero, and I know it is that, if that makes sense. I'm not expecting Shield Hero to do anything crazy anymore. I'm not expecting any deep character development or any deep characters or Naofumi to not have a harem or, like, you know, I'm not expecting these other heroes to not act stupid anymore. I just know what I'm getting. So now that I do, I enjoy it more. So, Shield Hero, it's back. Season 3, it was okay, kind of mid, but I enjoy it more. And that's all I'll say. Now, Goblin Slayer Season 2 came out. This is how you know this season was wild. Goblin Slayer Season 2 came out and barely anyone is talking about it. This is crazy because Goblin Slayer Season 1, everybody was talking about that one. But Season 2 came out, no one cares. Like I've not heard anybody say a word about Goblin Slayer. I'm going to be real. But with me, yeah, I watched the first, I think, 3 episodes. And it started, it's weird because Goblin Slayer, it's okay. I know what it is based off what I've watched from Goblin Slayer Season 1, and after like the first like episode, I was already like, okay, you got me in with the shock factor. The rest of it is a bit, it's okay. You know what I mean? So I wasn't expecting much of Season 2 either, and I watched the first 3 episodes of Season 2, and I was shocked with the fact that they linked one character to one of the earlier characters in Season 1. I'm not gonna get into spoilers as to why. That was pretty impressive. I'll give them that, but even then, I still didn't care too much. I'm gonna be real, I didn't care too much, and that's why I didn't finish Goblin Slayer Season 2. I stopped at 3 episodes. I was like, you know what? I'm good. Maybe if I'm bored out of my mind, I have no anime to watch, I'll pick it up again. Other than that, it was like, all right, cool. I think I'm done with Goblin Slayer for now. So there's that. Okay, so here's an anime that's interesting. So, as you know already, webtoons are being adapted into anime, and it's a lot more than I thought, because originally I just thought it was Nobilis, God of High School, Tower of God, and I think there was another one randomly. I think it was those 3. And I think, yeah, those 3, and I think there was one on Netflix, Lookism. Those are the only ones I knew, right? So I was randomly scrolling through Crunchyroll, and I just saw this anime, and I was like, this is a very interesting anime. And I looked at it and I was like, damn, this looks a little familiar. And I realized, right, this is actually a webtoon. I couldn't believe it. It was, The Returner's Magic is, Returner's Magic should be special. Now, is this good? It's a little mid. I'm going to be real. It's quite mid. But I was shocked that we're getting way more webtoons being adapted into anime. And even sometimes they don't even, like, announce that. Like, Crunchyroll made a whole big thing about Webtoon and Crunchyroll. We're gonna be doing anime together, but this anime just came and left. I'm gonna be real, and it got a season 2, so it blew my mind because I was watching this. Right, bear in mind, I've watched this anime, I've watched it, and I read some of this before. And when I read this originally, the manhwa, I thought it was interesting because of the world. That was what sold me, was the world. Everything else, I didn't. It was like I was watching a Japanese isekai that was made, like, you know, one of those, like, not, maybe not mid. Mid is a strong word. I should stop saying that word. Like, mid is a very, very strong word. It's like, I felt like I was watching one of those isekai anime, right? Or reading, sorry, I felt I was, what I've watched, I felt like I was reading when I was reading this, in terms of an isekai anime whereby you go to a high school, they get powers, and then they start fighting these weird monsters, and the plot doesn't really go too deep. The development happens here and there a bit, and the characters are kind of cool, but you get to like the 12th episode and you never see that anime again. That was basically this when I read it. And then when I watched this, it was even more of it, because I was like, of course this would work, and of course they would adapt this because it's literally like another isekai whereby it goes for 12 episodes, they go to school and they have these powers. You know what I mean? One of those. So when I heard of season 2, I was shocked because even when I was watching this, right, I read the manhwa, some of the manhwa. I'm not gone far, like, because I really couldn't be bothered. It was very, like, no offense to manhwa, but the problem with manhwa, yeah, except if you're like, even Tower of God, who has a lot of moments to moments where it's really interesting. Manhwa can drag. It can drag, and this one dragged, and I was like, nah, I can't be bothered. Like, this, you're dragging. So when I was watching the anime, one thing I did rate about the anime compared to the manhwa is that because it's anime and because they're chopping up a lot, it made the pacing way better. Like, way better. But I would say the characters, I don't know, I've prefer them in the manhwa than in the anime. The anime, they're just a little bit, except for one of them. One of them actually I like in the anime. I think it's the girl with the ponytails. I've got her name, but she's actually, I like her more in the anime than in the manhwa. But the other ones, I think I prefer the manhwa versions. I'm gonna be real. But other than that, it got a season 2. It got a season 2, so we're gonna see more of it, I guess. And I'll maybe, like, in the future, I'll talk more about this anime because this is one of those animes that I'm gonna definitely put in the guilty pleasure tier. I'm gonna be real. Because I did enjoy it. I won't lie, I did enjoy it. I'm not here to trash on it. I did enjoy it, but I knew what I was getting myself into in the fact that it was pretty mid. So yeah, I mean, watch it if you want. I don't know, but it was pretty interesting. Now, there was another anime which is kind of fantasy isekai-ish that kind of reminded me of the Return of Magic anime, which was called Ragnar Crimson. Right? Literally in 2 episodes, I was done. I was done in 2 episodes. I was like, yeah, man. In fact, I don't even think it was 2 episodes. I think the first episode is like an hour or something. I mean, I'll need to double check. I believe the first episode was an hour. Hold on. I actually have to check this. I'm sorry. Hold on. I have to check this now. I believe the first episode was an hour because I remember I watched this. After episode 1, I was, oh, no, I was wrong. It was 30 minutes. It felt like an hour to me because, Jesus Christ, after the first, I think it was the first 2 episodes. After them 2, I was done. I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't know what it, I don't know what, well, there's a lot of things. And I feel like if I list them, I'm going to list them anyway because I'm petty like that. But I feel like if I list them, I'm being a bit nitpicky and harsh. But to be honest with you, number 1, I didn't like the art style. Number 2, the character, I didn't like the main character. I didn't like the character he's trying to protect too. I didn't really, I didn't like the powers. I didn't like, the music was too, I didn't like that. Bro, there was just a lot of things I was just like, it's too much. Like, it's one of those anime whereby, you know it's average, right? But you know, with some average anime, there's usually something that keeps you going, right? Like with the Return of Magic, for example, the world kept me going. The characters kept me going. Even though I didn't like them like that compared to the source material, it kept me going, right? At least it was kind of interesting. With this, I'm like, I don't have anything, mate. I don't have anything. So yeah, I dropped that in literally 2 episodes. So bye, Ragnar Crimson. I didn't got a season 2. I even tried to watch the trailer for Ragnar Crimson season 2 to see if that'll get me hyped, and it just did not at all. It made me even, like, I was even happy that I didn't go further from watching the trailer for season 2. Speaking of another one, The Kingdom of Ruin. Now, The Kingdom of Ruin, this is one of those where I literally was like, you know what? I'm bored. Let's try it, right? It was like, fine, let's give it a try. Yet again, after like episode 2, I was tired. Like episode 1, it seems like one of those mangas one of those anime that does episode 1 shock value, right? Super shock value, and then you get to episode 2 and it's just mid, like Goblin Slayer, right? Like, okay, well, at least Goblin Slayer had a little bit more intrigue, so I could keep going. Yet again, like that one had the world as well, so I could keep going. With Kingdom of Ruin, my God, man, my God, like it was yet again, same with Ragnar Christmas, it's everything. I don't like the characters, I don't like the art style, I don't like the music, I don't like the powers, I think they're weird, I just feel like Kingdom of Ruin, same with Ragnar Crimson, I just feel like it's overly edgy. It just doesn't need to be edgy. I feel like it's also overly edgy and not that interesting, and the plot is not that, like, a lot of things are just not that interesting, man. Like, as soon as we got to one of the characters, I think, one character they introduced, I stopped caring, man. I'm gonna be real. So yeah, man. I won't be surprised if this has a season 2. It doesn't have a season 2. Well, maybe that's good riddance. All right, bye, Kingdom of Ruin. Berserk of Gluttony is another one, right? At least Berserk of Gluttony compared to the last two, at least had a little bit more intrigue. I'm gonna be real. I still think this one is also part of the mids of the season. I won't lie. The mids with the Ragnar Crimsons and the flipping God Returners Magic and flipping what was the last one, I think, Kingdom of Ruins. All those ones, they're all encompassed in mid. So there's the average, the sixes and the just scrapes the sevens. But Berserk of Gluttony, at least the concept, I did find the concept a bit interesting, and the fact that it's a world whereby everybody has their own special, well, it's not really a quirk, but I forgot what they called it. I think a gift, whatever they're called. And the main character's one for Berserk of Gluttony is the fact that he's always hungry, but it has some kind of power attached to that gift. So obviously, without spoiling it, you'll go and see what it is, and it's very interesting. Also, it's a kind of a romance as well, so that's also interesting. The reason why I dropped it in 3 episodes is because I got like halfway through episode 4 and I was like, I'm done. It was one of those where I'm just like, I'm done. Like, it's not like this one compared to the last. Well, actually, I'd honestly say Returner's Magic is better than this, 100%. Returner's Magic is 100% better than this, 100%. Actually, I feel like I actually did a bit of disservice to Returner's Magic, because Returner's Magic is better than Kingdom of Ruin, is better than Ragnar Crimson, is definitely better than Berserker Gluttony. So I feel like I'm actually being a little harsh to Returner's Magic, actually. But yeah, Berserker Gluttony, after those 3 episodes, or episode 4, whatever it is, I was full. I was full. I'm not gluttonous, don't worry. I'm good. So oh man, I feel bad. I feel like I'm slaughtering some anime. These are actually decent anime. They're not bad. It's just, yeah, we got other time to do other things. I'm gonna be real. Now, let's talk about a romance anime. This is my, I think it's the only romance I watched. Yeah, this is the only romance, well, technically the only romance, yeah, that I watched this season. And it's my romance pick of the season, which is the 100 Girlfriends Who Really, 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 Really Love You. Now, yet again, I didn't finish this anime. I did stop at episode 5, I believe it was. But I did hear that it got like quite funny towards the end, which is pretty interesting. But I've been interested in this anime because I've heard, like, obviously the anime community of that famous panel, that famous manga panel where the main character is just talking for like ages, and I'll be like, what is this anime? And then they'd be like, oh, it's a romance anime called 100 Girlfriends. And I'm like, ain't no way there's an actual harem where they're literally gonna date 100 girlfriends. Ain't no way. And it's actually true. Like, it's actually true. So fair enough to the anime and the writer for going along with this. I give you credit for that. Like, see, I really do like romance anime that flip the script, kind of like a Kaguya-sama. So I actually was super interested in this, and I was actually enjoying it. Now, this isn't one of those where I was like super excited to watch or anything. So yes, that's why I didn't finish it. So I was like, all right, there's other stuff I could be watching right now. But for the time I did have with it, with the short period I did watch it, I did enjoy what I watched. So that was surprisingly a pretty entertaining. So yeah, 100 Girlfriends. If you're interested in, or if you're a romance fan, right, or a romance anime fan, and you're tired of like the dead trash romances and you don't want anything dramatic, 100 Girlfriends is probably your best bet. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We've got how many more anime? Jesus Christ, we still have 6 anime, guys. 6. So wish me luck. Luckily, these are the ones I probably want to spend the most time on. So thank God we're finally here. Shangri-La Frontier absolutely shocked me because I didn't expect myself to like this anime like at all. When I was in Japan, I saw this promotion like everywhere, and I just saw a guy with a bird mask around Japan, and I'm just like, really? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I was like, this is the anime that you're gonna promote? Really? But after watching the first episode, actually, the first episode had me from the first, like, I think the first, like, 6 minutes. Like, the first, like, couple minutes, I was dying. I was like, what is this anime? And then I just kept going. And Shangri-La Frontier was so much fun. Or it is so much fun because it's still ongoing. It will go on until 2024. I've been enjoying it so far. Now, Shangri-La Frontier is it's like Sword Art Online without the melodrama. That's how I'll describe Shangri-La Frontier, because it's the same. There's a similar premise in the fact that there's a guy who goes into another, into a virtual reality, well, basically a MMORPG, but virtual. So you put on a virtual headset and you actually transport yourself into the game. And he's a guy who's been playing all these trash games, and he's a master of trash games because he just loves the trash games, because he's an addict to trash games. Who the hell would be addicted to trash games? I don't know. This guy's probably a masochist, but hey, that's what he likes to do. And because of that, he was now introduced into a game that was actually a very good game, and he's like, man, no good game can make me more happy than playing these trash games. And he's playing the good game, which is called Shangri-La Frontier, and he's absolutely enjoying it. Now, it's weird because you think that an anime, an isekai-ish type of VR MMORPG, I can't believe I said that all in one word, type of anime would be this one. It's weird because there's no stakes in the fact that no one dies. You're not trapped in this world. You're not like going to lose. Like, his life isn't over if he loses his game. You know what I mean? So you'd think that an anime like this wouldn't be that good because there's no stakes. But seeing him overcome these challenges warms my gamer heart. I think that's what it is. It got my gamer heart. So that's why I keep on wanting to watch him overachieve, get these challenge, improve his stats, build his character up, beat these bosses, get even higher, get a strong party, go and do all these challenges. It's so damn interesting, and it makes me want to actually play Shangri-La Frontier. Like, I wish VR MMORPGs were real. I really do, and I wish we could transport ourselves and play games like that. So I am jealous of Sanraku and all them lot playing these games, but I am really enjoying this anime. So yeah, that one really, honestly, this one was probably the shock of the season. I didn't expect myself to love Shangri-La Frontier. I thought this was one of those anime that I'll just pass up on. I just not even smell again. But nope, been enjoying it. Undead Unluck is another anime that came out this year, and it's an adaptation. It's the latest Shonen Jump or Battle Shonen from Shonen Jump type of adaptation. Undead Unluck has been fire, guys. Like, guys, Undead Unluck has been absolutely fire. Like, dude, the David Production. I'm so happy that David Production finally got a Shonen Jump property. I know they have Fire Force, right? I know they have JoJo's. JoJo's is its own league of popularity, and Fire Force is popular. But I've always wanted to see what David Production would do with something from Shonen Jump. I just always wanted to see that. And the fact they got Undead Unluck, I was really happy about that. And from the anime that we've been seeing, it's been absolutely fantastic. Like, dude, the animation has been top tier. And guys, I think David Production, low-key, I think is very underrated. Because people do not put them on the levels of like the Mappers and the Wits and the Boneses and the Ufotable and all them lot. David Production, I think, should be up there because let's be real, since Fire Force, they've been producing some top tier animation and art, guys. Like, I'm gonna be real. And Undead Unluck has some of the most visually stunning scenes I've seen in anime this year. I'm gonna be real. Like, some of the fights I've been seeing have been animated so damn well. The music is top tier. They're doing the characters justice as well. So Undead Unluck, absolutely fantastic, absolutely fire. And I'm super excited to continue on because this is also another anime that's going into 2024. So yeah, man. Hopefully, I hope that by the end of this season of Undead Unluck, I don't think it's gonna happen, to be honest with you, but I hope it hits that level of where Jujutsu Kaisen was, because even Demon Slayer had this thing whereby their seasons were going on, and people cared, people liked them, but then they were just good. They were popular, they were good, and then it got to like episode 19 for Demon Slayer, and then I think JJK was, I think it was episode 19 as well. It was the episode when Gojo did Hollow Purple, right? Those two episodes came out for those seasons, and the popularity of those two shows went to another level, right? And that's when everyone was like, "Oh my god, we need to be watching this." I hope Undead Unluck has that for for towards the end. I really hope that, because I feel like this should be one of those anime that should be considered with the Demon Slayers and the JJKs. I just feel like because number one, it's on Hulu, so I don't think people are checking it out like that. And then number two, I don't think Undead Unluck has had that clout or that push by people yet. Like, when I talk about Undead Unluck to anime fans, some of them are like, they know what it is. Some of them are like, oh, really? I haven't watched it yet. Maybe I should try it. And I'm like, damn, how are people missing out on this anime? You know what I mean? So Undead Unluck is also a fantastic one, and let's hope it gets its popularity because I think it absolutely deserves it. So, another thing about Under the Luck, which I forgot to mention. The opening for Under the Luck, fire. Absolutely fire. And I think that might be, okay, it's going to be my second opening, or maybe my third. I don't know. It's definitely in top three openings of this season, hands down. But I was shocked at how beautiful it was, and I was shocked at how crazy the music was. But the reason why I can't say guaranteed is number one is because another anime shocked me with its opening in literally the first, like, what, 30, like, literally as soon as the show starts, the opening comes in and I'm like, whoa, what is this? And the anime is called The Apothecary Diaries. Now, this has been one of those that's been definitely under the radar, but I feel like some people say, yo, you need to be watching this underrated anime. Some people are like, at least have seen Mao Mao around, but The Apothecary Diaries, this is absolutely interesting. This is one of those anime where I'm like, yo, interesting. I gotta see this, because I remember when I first saw the trailer for this way earlier in the year, 2023, and they said, ooh, this brand new anime, I thought Apothecary Diaries, and I was like, all right, whatever. And then I saw the trailer, and originally I thought it was a Chinese anime, but no, it's Japanese with Chinese lore, essentially. So I was like, okay, interesting. So it's not a Chinese anime, it's a Japanese anime. And when I saw the trailer, I was like, this anime looks so beautiful. Is this a famous property? Like, I was actually starting to question myself why I've not heard of this before, because the trailer looked stunning, right? It looked stunning. And I was like, what is this anime? So I watched it, and as soon as that opening starts, I was like, wow. Like, I was like, I didn't expect to hear a banger today, but I will. I've listened to that opening like crazy. That opening is crazy, man. Oh my God. It is visually stunning. Oh my goodness. But even not just the OP, the show, I'll admit, it's visually stunning. It's visually stunning. It's definitely up there in terms of the prettiest anime of the season, hands down. But the show itself is super interesting. So if you don't know what it is, it's about this girl who's an apothecary. And an apothecary is essentially like I wouldn't say medieval, but an old time doctor, kind of like a doctor type of scientist, doctor researching medicines and using medicines, that kind of person. That's an apothecary. And she gets kidnapped and put into this really big emperor's estate, whereby the emperor has different wives, which are called the concubines, or their concubines essentially. And she's working for one of the concubines, and she's working in that estate for the emperor. Now, what's interesting is the world of this show is so damn interesting. Like, because this emperor, right, has all these wives, right? And you're basically there watching the lives of his wives and them trying to fight for his affection, them trying to raise his kid, like all these different nuances in there. And then also there are these men that are in that work for the emperor, but get this, they're all eunuchs. Why are they all eunuchs, you ask? Obviously, well, actually, I think they explained in the show, because the emperor doesn't want the guys to be touching his wives. That is some big dick energy, let me tell you that. I'm gonna be real. Like, I had to hold my hands up and say, yo, emperor, you might be that guy. I'm gonna be real. Granted, I feel like it's a bit harsh to, like, have a million wives and cut off men's dicks, like, loads of them. But yeah, it made me think, damn, this world is very interesting. And as you're seeing Mao Mao solve different cases each episode, they're all really interesting, because you're seeing the lives of these characters in this estate. You're trying to figure out what's happening. You're trying to figure out the mystery along with Mao Mao. And Mao Mao's a character. She's so damn cool. She's actually the star. Well, she is the star of the show. She's the main reason why you keep going for the show, because unlike other, like, it's rare to get a Mao Mao type of female protagonist in an anime. So it's really refreshing to see one that really doesn't give a F and really cares about herself and cares about what her ideals are. And she's just, in terms of like her reactions and the way she acts, she's just so damn refreshing. So I really love Mao Mao. I think she might be my favorite female character of the year, probably. I think she might be. I don't think there's anybody. Oh, that's a big lie. That's a big lie. I forgot. There's another anime that has it. That probably some people are probably thinking of right now. I think that's yeah. But she's up there. I will say Mao Mao is definitely up there. So yeah, Apothecary Diaries, that one is also continuing. So I'm excited to see the rest of that. Now, The Eminence in Shadow Season 2. And this is my isekai anime pick, or fantasy anime. I'll say fantasy / isekai pick. Sorry, Shangri-La Frontier, it has to go to Eminence in Shadow, because Eminence in Shadow continues to be one of the stupidest shows I've ever seen in my life. Stupid in a good way. This show, man, oh my God. Sid Kageno is going to go down in anime history as one of, like, the funniest protagonists of all time. Like, I put him up there with the Kazumas of this world, man. And speaking of that, I'm super excited for Konosuba season 3 next year. Just to point that out there. But Eminence of Shadow is still incredibly hilarious. What I like about the show is that there is even though you're following Sid, and Sid is basically just trolling the world. Essentially, that's the show, is him just trolling, right? There is an actual story, and there is a lot of actual lore. And from watching the season, especially when you get towards the end, there is stuff that actually like is connecting and making sense that's going around Sid, even though Sid is basically just trolling around with the story. And he still does that to this day. Like, he doesn't change. He's still trolling, and he's still funny because he's trolling. But yeah, I'm really excited to see where the future of this show goes. I mean, I think there's a movie coming out of this for the next arc, and I'm interested to see what happens there, because the way this season ends is it's a bit of a cliffhanger, because it kind of changes what I'll say the final episode, or the second to the last episode, I can't remember, but it flips the script of what this show really is, if that makes sense. Other than that, the characters are still hilarious. I love the fact that we're getting more focus on the actual Shadow Garden, and especially the numbers of the Shadow Garden. I actually really like them a lot. So yeah, Eminence of Shadow, I'm excited for that movie. I hope the movie gives you the answers, because I'm curious to see what the outcomes of the final episode are, to be honest, without spoiling anything. Now, we got 2 more anime to talk about, and which one should I talk about first? These are 2 big boys. Very, very big boys. You know what? I'll talk about the new one first before the big boy. So, let's talk about Frieren, Beyond the Journey's End. And this anime, as of right now, I'm literally staring at my anime list as I speak to you right now. This anime is number 1 on my anime list right now. Does it deserve it? Kinda. I would say kinda. And the reason why I like this anime a lot, actually, and to be honest with you, I feel like if this anime ended, it could be like up there for anime of the year, 100%. Really, really, really up there for anime of the year. So what Frieren is about is well, without spoiling it, and I don't want to go too much into the first episode, because I feel like you should go into that kind of blind, is that Frieren has done a journey with the heroes of, or in a fantasy world, the heroes who, okay, no, let me try that again. The fantasy world, right? Frieren is an elf who went on a party with the hero of, or the person who's meant to defeat the Demon Lord, and 2 other party members, and they went on a long journey in order to defeat the Demon Lord. That journey is now ended, and they defeated the Demon Lord, so we're seeing the after effects of that with Frieren, especially as Frieren is an elf who's lived for over 1,000 years, so she's an elf that's seen people die over and over and over again. But in this instance, she's now seeing this party of heroes which she went on this journey with, and this journey has really affected her life after she's lived a very, very long life. So you're seeing the after effects of her and the end of that journey, hence why Beyond the Journey's End. And all I can say is this anime is absolutely beautiful. It's so beautiful is the only word I could use to describe it. The fact that Madhouse came back out of the depths and rose up to create this anime is absolutely insane, because after what was the last, honestly, I'm not being excited for a Madhouse anime since One Punch Man season 1. One Punch Man season 1 was 8 years ago, people. 8 years ago. To this day. It came out in October 2015. I will not forget that. To this day, I've not thought of Madhouse in a minute. And I've been seeing, like, they'll drop an anime here and there, and some will be mid, one will be okay-ish, it'll be like here and there, but I've just been like, yo, Madhouse, like, what happened to you? I mean, I know a bunch of your guys went to MAPPA, but damn, like, you used to be the king of anime. I mean, this is the studio that made One Punch Man season 1, obviously, but Death Note, Hunter x Hunter, like, these are, like, no jokes, you know what I'm saying? So when I started watching Frieren, I was impressed, right? But what really impressed me the most was the fact that this was Madhouse, who used to be top tier, and then this anime was top tier. From the visuals, from the acting, like everything about this just screams beautiful. And I really love the story, and it's really, really emotional. It's really heart-wrenching to see Frieren live so long and miss her friends. It's really, really deep. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of To Eternity, but at least it's different in this instance because Frieren having a bit more of a personality, I feel like elevates the story a bit more than a To Eternity. That's why I couldn't really stick with To Eternity like that because the I forgot the name of the character, but the dog that turns into I think his name is Fushi. I can't remember his name, but yeah, it was really, really hard to latch on with. I'm gonna be real, but with Frieren, yeah, Frieren is the best girl of the season, guys. She's the anime girl of the year, hands down. Frieren, oh man, like everything about Frieren, you just love her instantly. And then the side characters as well, oh, they're so damn interesting. Everybody has a story to tell, and there's always so interesting, and the payoffs are so interesting, bro. Like this world is so interesting too. Like when I realized that Frieren was a top tier anime was the way they utilized the demon race. Like the demon race in Frieren is so damn interesting because I don't want to go into it deeply because of spoilers, so I won't gush into it like that much. I'll probably talk more about it when the season ends in I think March or April. Probably March, yeah. I'll talk more about it then because I've got a lot to talk about in terms of that, but it just showed a lot of maturity compared to how I see other demon races taken in anime, and it was so interesting. But not just that, just the whole plot, the whole journey, the music. Oh my god, the music is ridiculous, bruv. Ah, oh, dude, Evan Cole, I believe his name is. Jesus Christ, bro, that music is insane. The animation, oh my god, bro. This there's one scene where two characters are dancing. If you've watched the anime, you know exactly what I mean. One of the most beautifully animated scenes I've ever seen in my life. So yeah, this anime, me looking at it being number one on Mal, I can't really argue against it. If that makes sense, it's really hard for me to say no, it's not. Like it's obviously I'm gonna still say Attack on Titan is the best anime of all time, of course. But in terms of what I'm seeing from Frieren, this could easily go down as one of the best anime of all time too. So keep doing you, Frieren, and Madhouse. I'm excited for the future of Madhouse. I hope that Frieren will allow Madhouse to evolve, to basically get back to where they were before. Like this, Madhouse guys was literally the kings of anime. It was them. It was no one else was beating Madhouse. It was them. It was like, oh, you want a sick anime? Give it to Madhouse. So maybe Madhouse is starting to try and take his chain back from Mappa because Mappa is doing crazy work in Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, which we're about to talk about right now because Jesus Christ, Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. Oh my god. Like, here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. I had already read everything of Season 2. Everything. So I knew that Shibuya especially, because, sorry, I'm jumping about a bit. The last episode of the Dropped in 3, or not last episode, the last time we talked about anime in a season, we talked about the summer anime, and I did mention about Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, the Hidden Inventory arc, and Hidden Inventory, and oh my god, I can't believe I forgot the other one. Premature Death, I believe it is. Yeah, Premature Death, Hidden Inventory, those two. Wait, yeah, Premature Death, Hidden Inventory, yeah, those two. Yes, I believe that's the one. Those are the two. So I didn't talk about those there, and I said I really enjoyed it. I really liked, especially the direction of Jujutsu Kaisen. I love the fact that the movements of the characters are flowing a lot more. Yeah, Shibuya took that to another level. I'm gonna be real. Shibuya, yeah. I read Shibuya, and when I read Shibuya in JJK, I read this. I said, you know what? This is hands down JJK's best arc, and this could, like, if they animate it well, this could be one of the best arcs in anime history, hands down. I knew it. Like, it's one of those. It's like the Red Light District with Demon Slayer. It's like, well, what was meant to be season 6 with My Hero, but we'll just hope season 7 does that. Like, basically, it was one of those. It was the anime coming out party. You know that one, right? But damn, I won't even lie, I didn't expect it to be this good. I didn't expect it to be this good. I knew it was going to be like at least a 9.5 because of season 1. Season 1 of JJK is absolutely incredible, but season 2, goodness. Yeah, where do I even begin with Shibuya? Shibuya is a lot to talk about. So I feel like I'll probably have to save that for like a review in the future where I have to really talk about Shibuya, or else we'll be here all day. But all I can say is, right, the obviously the new characters coming in were fantastic, but the action choreography and the animation and the art was absolutely top tier. The voice acting was 10 out of 10. Like, Jujutsu Kaisen should be the standard for what you want to do for Battle Shonen anime, because I'm gonna be real. I think JJK is great. I think it's quite overrated in terms of manga. If you come to me, right, and you said that the JJK anime was better than the My Hero anime, I'll be like, you know what? Fair enough. I can take that. That's fair. But if you dare come to me and tell me that the JJK manga is even close to good as My Hero manga, I'll probably slap you. I'll be like, are you high? Like, what? You know what I'm saying? That's where I rate JJK. It's great. Like, I rate it on the same level as Demon Slayer. It's great, but it's not that good. It's not top tier. Let's be real. It's not top tier plot, in my opinion. Even art is not top tier. And the thing, what JJK has always had, though, in terms of the manga, it's always had the fights. That's one thing I can never disagree on, is the fights of JJK are some of the best in Shonen Jump. Hands down, like, easily. So, with JJK, right, the assignment was pretty, I mean, obviously it's a lot of work, and because animation is not easy, but the assignment isn't really that hard. Just do verbatim what it does in the manga, and then just elevate the fights. That's what you have to do. Just animate the fights. And that's what Mappa did, and they took it to the next level. They said, okay, how do we take this fight and improve on the choreography even more than the anime? How do we do a shot that improves on the fight or even the look of the fight and makes it more visually stunning? And they just kept on going every single episode of Shibuya, and it was so fantastic. Now, there is a caveat that we have to discuss, is that Mappa and the work conditions, and maybe even a general anime thing, but we're just talking about Mappa because Mappa has been exposed more. Mappa needs to sort out the workers' conditions. They have to. It's getting ridiculous now, and I won't be surprised. In fact, I'm even excited for the day when the animators for Mappa and other anime studios just come out and unionize and just say, screw this, we're better than this, because they need it. Like, because JJK is one of the most beautifully done anime adaptations I've ever seen in my life, right? The animators should be getting paid out of their ass, bro. Like, they should be taking holidays, they should be taking breaks, because a season like this shouldn't exist. Let's be real. Bro, there was a run whereby, at least from when there was at least like 10 episodes. It should be, I think it was like a good 10 episode run where every single episode just Sakuga fire, Sakuga fire, Sakuga fire, just Sakuga, just insane action. And I'm just like, whoa, how are you keeping going? How are you doing this? Like, how are you doing this? Like, I was just like, there has to be an episode where they just stop, and they just did not stop. Like, all the way till the final episode of the season, it was just a madness. So I've not seen any anime or action battle shonen anime do anything like this. I think maybe Demon Slayer, not this season coming up, but the season afterwards, I think it might give this one a good fight. I'll give that credit. I think that season of Demon Slayer would give Shibuya a very good fight, but it's going to be really interesting to see, obviously, the future of JJK after this, because now JJK is on another level right now. And even the future of Battle Shonen anime. I want other Battle Shonen anime to watch JJK Shibuya and be inspired to do better. AKA, I want My Hero Academia to goddamn watch JJK and be inspired. Please! God! Please! I mean, oh my god. Like, I'm gonna be real. This is gonna be petty, yeah? As a My Hero fan, I'm a JJK fan too, right? But as a My Hero fan, I was jealous of this season. I was so jealous. I was like, imagine if season 6 had half the animation of Shibuya. Oh my god. Season 6 would be on another level. And I'm looking at season 7 and I'm like, please. I know season 7 is not going to be as good as Shibuya. I know it's not. Like, Shibuya was like, look at the animation and the art. Ain't no way Bones is doing that, bro. After season 6, no way. No way. So yeah, I'm going to get even more jealous in April when fights start happening, and I'm looking at May when season 7 of My Hero comes out. Fights start happening, and I bet you every episode I'm gonna be watching and be like, imagine if Mappa did this, like literally all the time. And this is exactly how I felt about season 6 about My Hero. I was like, imagine if Mappa did this. But yeah, JJK season 2 has put Mappa as probably the best anime studio of the year. I'm gonna be real, because they also have Vinland Saga. Let's not forget. And yeah, all I can say is, Mappa, please take care of your workers. But JJK season 2 was absolutely incredible and a 10 out of 10 masterpiece. I've got to give credit. I've got to give credit where credit's due. Fight scenes are elevated to the next level, and I feel like other anime studios and anime productions need to learn that. Please, if you're doing a battle shonen, just get the fights fantastically right. Just add the Sakuga, add the animation, like, Undead Unluck is a good example of this. Undead Unluck understands the assignment because the animation and the art, they just elevate it, and even the direction, they just transform it. And that's what JJK did to the next level. So congratulations, Mappa. You did a fantastic work with JJK Season 2. I'm excited for the Culling games in Season 3. But for that, I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't come out to like 2025. But please, please, please let your animators rest. That's all I'm going to say. Now, thank you very much for watching, guys. This is it. This is every single anime, well, every anime that I at least had an interest in Q4 2023 or the winter season 20. Well, no, this is not winter. Fall season 2023. Damn, man, this is crazy that we've come to another year of anime, and it's been a fantastic year. I'm gonna be real. It's been fantastic. I think 2024 though. 2024 is gonna be absolutely insane, especially in April. If you guys have seen April, yeah, April's crazy. April's absolutely crazy. But I'm gonna say thank you sorry. I do want to say thank you very much for watching, people. Thank you for watching me this year with the podcast as well. I'll admit, I've not done as well as I thought with this podcast. I'm going to be blunt and honest. I feel like I should do better next year because I wanted to release these way more frequently and I just haven't. Different reasons why, but a lot of it is all on me. And I'm hoping that next year I do better with this podcast, so bear with me. That's all I'm going to say. I am really grateful that you've been watching, though. I am really, really grateful that you're watching this. I'm super grateful for the support as well, for people joining onto the channel as well and subscribing. I will, like I said, I will improve on this. We do have a bunch of episodes that I'm going to drop in January. Well, ideas of episodes that I'm going to drop in January, so wait and see for that one. Especially, obviously, we're going to be talking about 2024 anime, duh. But I'm hoping that I do improve a lot in terms of not just the podcast, but also the channel. I want to make sure I improve on that and make it cool and make it interesting so that I can have fun with it. Now, the positive side though is the fact that I've actually started this thing. Like, bro, this was something I wanted to do. I've always wanted to do like I wanted to do a podcast. I wanted to do a nerd type podcast. I didn't know what. I originally wanted to do like anime movies and games and all put it all to one and smush it and do a fusion and just drop it and do some weird stuff, but I realized I had to start small, and that's why I started with anime. And even then, I've not been doing as well as I thought. So I'm like, cool, let's start with anime, stick with anime, and try and make this a way better anime podcast for 2024. So yeah, man, I'm happy I've at least done these episodes. I'm really, really grateful that I've been able to talk about anime this year, and hopefully to many more. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic new year. Stay safe, have a great day, and I'll see you soon. All right.